Hey Geminis, my name is Jacine, also known as Tempest Trade, and this is your energy check-in. These messages may resonate if you have the Gemini Zodiac anywhere in your chart. Please use discernment when listening to these messages since it is a collective for many different types of people. Check in with your gut, check in with your intuition. Also, it doesn't matter when this message was recorded, when it is uploaded, or when you come across it, there may be a message in here for you. And lastly, if you're interested in a one-on-one private session for tarot, divination, energy healing, or sound healing, you can go to my Linktree Tempest Trade or DM me on any of my social media. And all of my links are in the description below. Now that all of that is out of the way, let's get started and see what Geminis need to know right now. I guess first card. 6 of Charisma, which this is the Dungeons and Dragons tarot deck. If I'm not mistaken, 6 of Charisma is 6 of Pentacles, which means generosity, giving to others, having more of a community. Yeah, giving to others, having more of a community, understanding when it's time to take care of others, or understanding that there is a give and take when it comes to working together or having something with multiple people or more than one person, like a gathering, like a potluck, for example. Everyone brings a little bit of something to the table. So when you have a generous spirit or a generous natural disposition, it is easier for community to come together around you. So you might be looking for some type of community. You might be people that give back. People that give back to you. 6 of Strength. You give and people give back to you. 6 of Strength is the 6 of Wands, which is victory. The Sun in the reversal, with the Ace of Intelligence, the Ace of Swords in the reversal, and the Queen of Charisma, Queen of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. I'm going to lower this because it feels like it's a little too loud. So what I'm getting from this is if you want some type of victorious result, you need to give a little bit. And I feel like right now you either might be holding back because you're not entirely clear in your head, because there's some type of like mental blockage. If it's not a mental blockage, then it's something like not seeing everything clearly, not getting all the information you need to get. What is this about? Because the Queen of Charisma, Queen of Pentacles, is a person who is stable. I mean, in the upright, the Queen of Pentacles is a person that is stable, that is giving, that is nurturing, giving and nurturing. But in the reversal, this Queen of Pentacles is not really nurturing. This Queen of Pentacles is a bit unstable. This person might misuse finances, or might not have, might not be building themselves up in terms of either monetary wealth, finance, career, or just stability in general. This could be you. All of this could be about you, in terms of maybe you give and giving is a good thing, but then you overgive. It's possible. Maybe you overgive because you don't exactly know when you should stop giving. Like you don't always understand mentally when enough is enough and when you need to pull back. But I'm also kind of getting the sense of you might be connected to someone where you are giving and the other person is not. But we do have the victory card here. Six of Strength, Six of Wands. That things are working out. Things will be victorious. Oh, I don't know why I'm shuffling this deck. I don't need this deck just yet. If this is about you, again, this could be about your finances, your career, how you manage money, how you share your resources and your wealth with others. And if this is about someone else or something else, and it doesn't have to be a romantic connection, it could be a friend, a colleague, a parent, a family member. We have dead weight shackles in the sideways. Yeah. If you are giving, don't give to the point where you shackle yourself, you bind yourself to someone, or don't give to the point where you are held down by your generosity. You can be a generous person, but you can still have lines and limits. You can give to others as long as you're just being aware of the weight that other people might be placing on you. For example, if this Queen of Pentacles in the reversal, this unstable person, if this is another person, they could be leaning on your generosity to get them through. And maybe your generosity, I think I'll probably keep that. Maybe your generosity, it really does help people achieve things. But if they are not stable enough to pick up where you left off, or to learn what you have been showing them, they're not going to uphold what you were trying to build for them, or what you were adding into their life, if that makes sense. Kept secret and reversal, beloved tale. They're both dealing with books. Both of these cards, they're books. So kept secret and reversal, it's something is known. Beloved tale in the reversal, it's what is this? Beloved tale. It's like something out of a story. Your tales inspire courage. You discover a thing of legend. A folk tale reveals its wisdom. Kept secret. Yeah, this does still feel connected to this Ace of Intelligence, this Ace of Swords. Being able, like having the clarity. That's how you gain the victory, is the clarity. If this is about you and only you, you might have a tendency, like you might have a general, like good emotional disposition, outlook, but then in your head, you could be a bit unclear, unfocused, and blocked. Like Like maybe your mind blocks everything else. And that in itself creates the instability. And the Sun card in the reversal, it has a sword too. Like both the swords cards are in reversal. So even with the Sun, it's like not being able to cut through like the brain fog. Familiar face. You look just like, you remind me of you must be related to, run, it's the ghost of blank. Familiar face. Familiar face gives me the feeling that I feel like you, even when you are confused, even when you are unsure, I feel like certain things still, like you can still understand certain things. You can still get a sense of certain things. Certain things are still familiar. Like deja vu, for example. Even though you never actually had memory of experiencing something, you get a feeling, and that feeling is like you've been there before. So with familiar face, it's kind of like if you're dealing with other people, you could be stuck in the connection, in the history of what you have. In like a person being familiar, a person having so much history with a person, like stops you from cutting off someone because of the history. It's like, oh, but I've known them forever. But is that person a healthy like friend? And I'm not saying they immediately cut off people, but there's a difference between having a connection to someone or something versus that connection creating instability. So how much, it's like, how much are you going to give to someone that is a little unstable before you kind of realize that there are certain things that a person needs to do for themselves, and you can only give so much. The act of giving in itself is a victorious act because it's kind, it's empathetic, it's nurturing. If this is you and just you, then you're probably not very kind to yourself. You're kind to others, but not to yourself. Horus in the sideways, the Egyptian god, the sun and the moon, the right eye, left eye. Either you have been getting communication from deities, gods, goddesses, ancestors, other creatures, the universe, the world, energy, entities, whatever it is. Either you've been receiving certain messages, guidance, signs, and maybe it's not really getting through to you because you are in your own head anyway. When you're in your own head, it's hard for you to process the information that you need to process. But this could also mean that maybe you're being called to expand your own mind, your own thinking. And if you can expand your own mind, then you can also expand the opportunities and the new possibilities that could come your way if you just allowed it to. If you just grounded yourself a bit more, loved yourself a bit more, and allowed yourself to be open. It's funny, the random song that's playing is called Eyes Closed with Zayn by Jisoo, Jisoo. Best day ever in the reversal. Whoever this is, whether this is someone or something you are connected to or you, they're not having a good time at all. Tinkerer, Alchemist in reversal. In order to become a stable individual, you need to alchemize and you need to tinker with yourself, with life. Alchemy is the process of turning one thing into another, transmutation. So, for example, if you are not in a good mood, the best way to change the situation or alchemize or transmute is to somehow turn your bad mood into a more peaceful mood. It doesn't have to be happy, it can just be more at peace. There are many different ways to do that, and what I'm getting from these cards is, if this is about you, then you need to learn a method of turning your bad moods into peaceful moods. You need to figure out how to do that for you, because every person is different and every person will need different things in order to change and shift from one thing to another. If this is about someone or something else that you are connected to, if this is about another person, place, or thing, something else outside of you, then I'm getting the sense that it either isn't working or it's not reciprocal or whatever it is, it needs fixing, alchemizing, transmuting in order to be on the same level, in order to give back. Another thing about this Dungeons and Dragons tarot deck, it has replaced a couple of the suits into stats, character stats. So charisma is equivalent to the pentacles, and charisma in the game is your charm, how you communicate with others, not necessarily from a mental intellectual standpoint, but from a community standpoint, from a social standpoint. Because charisma, like the Riz, it is just how you bond with others, or it's like when you are networking or building something, how you talk and how your mannerisms, your behavior, it adds to it. So when we also think of the Six of Pentacles, the generosity of the giving and the community that is around you, and the reciprocity that comes from genuine generosity, there's kind of a way that it circles back around. It's kind of like a current, a flow, and it will always come right back. And it's interesting how I say a circle of flow, because we have a gelatinous cube with heroic hymn. Now, gelatinous cube is also a Dungeons and Dragons monster. It just think of Jello. It's a little Jello cube, but when you're stuck into it, stuck inside it, you start slowly dissolving away. And a heroic hymn is like a ballad, a story, a song. But heroic, that's like a story. The hero's tale, the hero's journey. So with gelatinous cube and heroic hymn combined, it's kind of giving me, maybe someone's a little stuck in the past. Someone is stuck in the golden years, at like the peak of what was probably the best time, the best moment, the memories. And since we have the deadweight shackles in the sideways, together, that's almost an awareness. Like someone is aware that they are a little stuck singing the same songs, stuck dancing to the same like tunes, stuck in the history and the memories. And sometimes the heroic tales that we hear are exaggerated. So keep that in mind too. When we think about gathering around together, that we're not gathering and we're like stuck in something. That's interesting. It's for some reason I'm kind of getting this feeling, and I'm seeing this picture of like a family coming together for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and it's like the family kind of goes through the same routine, the same thing. The family dinner is the same. Like everyone has a role to play, and everyone plays their part. I don't know why that's coming through. That's odd. Mm. Furious resistance to victory. Something that is known but isn't exactly beloved. Resisting the truth. Resisting the truth of what needs to be done. Refusing to accept certain realities. Maybe not entirely seeing how something is a victorious outcome, even though it may not seem like it. Boots of speed. In the reversal, non-movement. Again, something being stuck, resistance, non-movement. And this is towards the sun, and the sun in reverse is like lack of happiness. Nothing seems to be going right. Something doesn't feel right. There doesn't seem to be a way forward. Something is telling you no, and it's towards something that's familiar. So it's like, don't go towards this thing that seems familiar, but it's a road to nowhere. It could be a mindset. It could be a person, place, or thing. It could be a job, a hobby. Since this is a collective message, the message will resonate differently for each of you. So just keep that in mind. Feet of strength. Isn't that interesting? I know it says feet as in like, not feet of what we stand on and walk on, but an act, like an act of strength. But that's in the reversal. You don't feel strong enough, or you're not putting in enough strength towards something. Like your strength is faltering around something to do with clarity in your belief, clarity of mind, seeing things clearly, seeing the way forward clearly. I mean, it kind of makes sense if there's a bit of mental, emotional stagnation going on where someone might be refusing to move or refusing to heal or refusing to accept the truth. That could definitely contribute to feeling a lack of strength. And it is a call to have more strength inside you so that way you can actually move, break free somehow, break free in the mind. Grim affliction. Even the small wounds let hope bleed out. But that's in the reversal. So this is giving me the feeling that whatever this Queen of Pentacles, it could be a person, place, or thing. It could be you or it could be someone else. But maybe you or someone else or something else isn't going through a good time. Maybe they're having a really bad time, or they could have had one really bad day. And that really bad day left a really big wound. Or if you or this person or whatever else, it may not be just one bad day. It could be like day after day after day. And altogether, it's culminating in stagnation. If you are overgiving, for example, then yeah, overgiving makes you like giving makes you feel good, but then you overgive and then you end up feeling crappy when you overgive, but you love to give, so holding back makes you feel crappy too. It's kind of like a lose-lose situation that I'm kind of feeling. Look at this, alchemy and hunter's instinct. To confirm or clarify the tinkerer and alchemist. You need to alchemize in order to hone your instincts, and alchemy is not working, or it's not being done. It's not taking place. You're not doing it. If it's you or someone else, you're not doing it. Divine verdict in reversal. It's almost like you're not accepting. Yeah, divine verdict. Verdict was called, but it's like, nah, I don't accept this. Or you want something and it's like, nah, not this. Something's very firm, and I think you are not paying attention, or you are just kind of refusing whatever this thing is. Whatever this lesson is, whatever this path is. It is 3:45 p.m. So 3:45 could be significant for you. A count up. Tunnel vision. Cyclops. You are heavily focused on something. I don't know if it's a gathering that you are heavily focused on, or if it is the generosity that you give to others. Parties, if you're a host and you like you're hosting parties. Or if something happened at a gathering. Or maybe people don't see how generous you are. But there is definitely something that you or someone else is tunnel visioned about, not seeing it clearly. Again, this Ace of Intelligence, especially with this Horus left eye, right eye. And this is just one eye. Only seeing out of one eye. Transformation in the victory. You are resisting the transformation that would come from whatever this is. Whether maybe it's a call to give more because you are a bit stingy. Higher power with the sun in the reverse and the boots of speed. I did mention some with this divine verdict that it's almost like something was decided. Like this is beyond you now. And with the sun in the reversal, don't go forward. This is not happiness. This is not the way. Higher perception with the mentor in the upright. Interesting. Okay, so higher perception, and that's interesting. Said interesting twice. Anyways, again, Horus, left eye, right eye. Eyes, vision, seeing. Perception is also seeing, but perception is that moment of seeing where the information comes in. It's not yet comprehension or understanding. Perception, remember, perception can change depending on whatever lens you are focusing. Comprehension and understanding occurs when you've already taken the thing and you've looked at it from all different types of lenses, all different types of angles. And sometimes a person doesn't even need to look at something from all angles. They just have that inner knowing. Higher power. Something like, for example, your gut instinct, your actual intuition. Intuition is an intuition for a reason. It is unspoken, unseen, but it is right. So the higher power, the thing that's out there, kind of like trying to guide you, to tell you to open up your perception. And with this tunnel vision, it's one eye. And with this perception being in the sideways, it's kind of giving me, you've got one eye open right now. The Horus, left eye, right eye. You've got only one eye open right now, and you need to open both eyes. The mentor. You might need to find a mentor to help you in some way, shape, or form. It could be a therapist, it could be a business mentor, it could be a finance mentor, or like, a financial advisor. You could go back to class, go back to school, get a certification, some type of new training, pick up a new study, a new field, something. But this almost feels like you need a bit, you need a you need to be able to accept feedback or have a conversation with a person or with something that is outside of you, whom you actually trust, respect, acknowledge. Or because mentors don't always have to be trusted, respected, acknowledged in order for a mentor to actually have an impact. So you just need to essentially be open enough to learn from anyone and anything, even if what could be reaching out to you is something outside of this world and outside of the understanding and the comprehension. Because it's interesting that we have like this entire third row is all about being stuck, and then this entire last row is all about seeing things from a higher perspective, transforming to a potential higher position, or at least communicating with something beyond yourself, and either becoming a mentor or seeking a mentor. So it's just this flow, and I really like this flow. But ultimately, you are in charge of how far and how fast you go, how much you see, how much you take in. You are in charge of that. And I think this is just trying to make you aware that sometimes you are your own worst enemy. Sometimes. Well, Geminis, I hope this resonated with you. And if you would like a private one-on-one session with me, you can go to my Linktree Tempest Trade or send me a message on any of my social media. All of the links are in the description below. Until next time, bye.